Records on records on records. Caitlin Clark nearly scores 50 in historic night. And later, faith in Iowa City.
It's turning so that we can hear the good news of God's love again.
For me to see it in person, she's legit. You know, she's the best. So she's the GOAT.
All that and more coming up right now on DITV. Good morning from Iowa City. Today is Friday, February 16th, and I'm Ashley Wheel.
And I'm David Consuelos.
And for our top story of the day, we have team coverage from Carver Hawkeye Arena, where history was made last night.
We have DITV's Michael Merrick and AJ Reeser live there at Carver now. Michael, let's start with you.
Thanks, guys. And like you mentioned, I'm here live inside of Carver Hawkeye Arena. Lisa Bluter and Jan Jensen are over there behind me. But last night was a night where everyone figured that history was going to be made. But Caitlin Clark decided that one record just wasn't enough. Along with becoming the NCAA's all-time leading scorer, she also passed her career high and broke the Carver record for most points with 49.
I mean, you all knew I was going to shoot a logo 3 for the record. Come on now. Just to do it in this fashion, I'm very grateful. I'm very thankful to be surrounded by so many people that have kind of been my foundation and everything that I've done since I was a young little girl. And I don't know if you can really script it any better, and I thought we played really well tonight. I'm just filled with so much gratitude and love, and the way these fans support women's basketball is so special.
She's such a special player, and you know something, the University of Iowa is the right place for this to happen. It absolutely is. You know, this is a place that has supported basketball, women's basketball for such a long time, and anything can happen here. I mean, we show it over and over again.
Clark's near 50-point performance led the Hawkeyes to a dominating 106-89 win over the Wolverines. And unlike in most blowout games, fans made sure to stay in their seats even after the final buzzer.
I think that's what kind of hits you, like when it hits you the most is like, and yeah, there's been so many famous and cool people and people I idolize, you know, growing up that say a lot of really nice things about me, but when it's people that have had your back through the ups and downs and been there every step of the journey, whether it was good or bad, and have seen the hard days, have seen the good days, and I think that's when it means the most.
And Coach Bluter mentioned how Caitlin does seem to love and enjoy the spotlight that she has gotten recently, but both of them brought up how excited they are for the rest of the Hawkeyes to finally get their shine now that this record has been broken. Now we're going to send it to the top of Carver to AJ Reeser as he talked to some big names at the game last night.
Presley and NBA star Kobe White were in attendance for the game, and even
they didn't have me toss it. Okay. Hawkeye fans from around the country flocked to Iowa City in anticipation of a historic night.
Celebrities such as Theo Vaughn, Caleb Presley, and NBA star Kobe White were in attendance for the game, and even Super Bowl MVP Patrick Mahomes was rumored to make an appearance. And while he never did, those that were in attendance witnessed a shot they will remember forever.
What was it like when you saw her hit that 3?
Which one? The one that broke the record was crazy. I think she put up 2 feet beyond half court. So for me to see it in person, she's legit. You know, she's the best. So she's the GOAT. So
we were on our feet. We went absolutely nuts. It was
the
fabulous.
Whole crowd went nuts. The whole
yeah.
Steve. It's been packed before, but nothing like this. Everyone's up on their feet all the time.
Yeah. It's dope to see the support. You know, it's a sold-out crowd. It's loud in here. You know, I haven't been around a college atmosphere a lot since I've been in the league, so it's been fun.
We love women's basketball here. Iowa women can't beat it.
We love girl power as well.
And now from Carver to downtown, DITV's Colin Carruthers ventured into Iowa City to capture how the rest of Hawkeye Nation reacted to the record.
I'm here at the airliner where a multitude of Iowa fans showed up ready for Caitlin to break that record. A day that had been anticipated all winter, Caitlin Clark breaking the all-time scoring record finally arrived, and fans were ready for it, sharing how important this event meant to them and the city.
Like, you kind of have like a level of pride for her. Like, you feel like she's kind of done something for this city, and you can embrace that when you're walking around knowing that she did that.
But with this level of hype also comes a high level of expectation. With Caitlin only 8 points away from the record going into the game, most people were prepared for it to happen. So it didn't come as much of a shock to anyone.
Like I said, I'm in the same grade as Caitlin, so I've been watching her play for the past 4 years, so I knew it was coming. I've seen her play. She's insanely good, so I expected it, but...
Because of this, the crowds for the start of the game were not extremely large, but those who were out still enjoyed witnessing history. From the airliner, Colin Carruthers, DITV.
Thanks, Colin. Iowa City was certainly rocking last night, but they woke up to some snow. I'll have more on that here in a little bit, but first let's go back to the studio with Ashley and David.
Thanks, guys. It really was a crazy night, and after Clark set that new record, athletes, celebrities, and really anybody took to Twitter to congratulate the Hawkeye. That includes Angel Reese, who put on Twitter, quote, "Congratulations, Caitlin Clark. Keep breaking records and making her story." What a shout out.
We also have Billie Jean King, star tennis player, saying, quote, "She's made history. Cheers to Caitlin Clark, the new NCAA women's basketball all-time leading scorer."
And even former President Barack Obama went to Twitter to say congrats to Caitlin Clark, the greatest scorer in the history of women's college basketball. It's been fun watching you and the women's basketball team this season.
Ashley breaking the record, having celebrities shout you out. What a rush.
Crazy. And fast food changes are, sorry for some technical difficulties today, but fast food changes are making things difficult for students and financial aid administrators. We now have DITV's Claire Green with more on what's confusing students.
Here at the Student Financial Aid Office, University of Iowa students are struggling to figure out the new changes to the FAFSA and how they're going to receive financial aid.
It's a little confusing, but I made it through. I would like it to be simpled up a little bit, but yeah.
It was confusing at first.
A big change that was made to the FAFSA might help students receive a Pell Grant if they didn't in the past. If they are eligible, they might receive up to $7,395. But that wasn't the only thing that was changed to the FAFSA.
From filling it out, the questions asked, who is to contribute to the form, when we'll receive the results, what those results will even look like, so that we can proceed to make that offer.
Financial aid administrators are uncertain when forms will be processed and when students will receive financial aid offers. Their goal is to get financial aid offers out by mid-April for undergraduate students. The financial aid office will know by March 25th if that is possible. Students who have missed the deadline or are having difficulties filling out the FAFSA can come to the financial aid office for help. At the Old Capitol Mall, this is Claire Green, DITV.
A University of Iowa residence hall will be used again next year. Mayflower Residence Hall was put up for sale in February of 2023. However, due to a record number of applicants for the 2024 fall semester, the university has decided to continue housing students in the dorm for at least one more year. The university still intends to continue with the sale.
Office hours and even some classes that take place at the UI Business Building were canceled or moved online earlier this week due to excessive water damage in the building.
They're prepared to take midterms in those rooms, and now they have to kind of figure out where else they're going to take midterms. It's kind of a culture shock, I guess you might say.
After a toilet detached from the men's restroom wall, a water line broke, which caused water damage on all 3 floors of the south wing of Tippy.
Otherwise, though, it just was a relatively large amount of water, maybe a couple inches even on the 3rd floor that then seeped into various offices.
Only one classroom was impacted by the water damage and is now back to normal use. However, some offices may require repairs in the walls, ceilings, and some furniture. Some technology was also damaged, which will need to be replaced.
At a certain point, it's just simply how long does it take to dry all the water. And it's not only on the floors, but we've got to get behind the walls and dry that out as well. So it's just going to take time.
Fans and dehumidifiers are currently working on drying the areas most impacted. To some, the damage was no issue.
But honestly, online classes for me aren't that bad.
Others, however, were frustrated by not being able to meet with their professors in person.
Online is okay if the class isn't really a challenging course, but if it's a challenging course, kind of meeting the professor face to face is definitely preferred, right?
Most damages should be repaired by the middle of next week. Until then, many faculty and staff are opting to work from home remotely.
On Tuesday, Governor Kim Reynolds requested a presidential disaster declaration for Iowa. Excuse me, I'm having some technical difficulties. Disaster declaration for Iowa counties affected by snowfall in January. The declaration would cover 18 counties, including Johnson, Cedar, and Dubuque County. If passed, it would provide federal assistance for the counties to recover from the record amount of snowfall that hit Iowa at the beginning of 2024. Up to $8 million would be given for snow removal and de-icing the roads.
And today is the last day to check out an art show from Inside Out Reentry Communities. The exhibition is titled Art from the Inside Out. It features work from artists in prison. The art show features work from current and formerly imprisoned people, and the showcases the creativity and resiliency of the individuals in the prison. Inside Out hopes to shed light on the issues people in prison face while humanizing them to the public.
Art is super unifying. It just pulls us together in a way that oftentimes makes such a big difference. The artists feel like we represented them really well.
Inside Out hopes to grow this art show every year to raise awareness for the services they provide and the people in the reentry and the people they help on their reentry into society, while also showcasing these artists' talent. The art show is currently running until 1 p.m. today.
On Wednesday, the season of Lent began with the celebration of Ash Wednesday. DITV's Jace Bertrand has more on the way students and community members celebrate the tradition.
Catholics, Lutherans, Methodists, Episcopalians, Presbyterians, and Congregationalists. While these Christian denominations have differences in beliefs and practices, all of them are providing a space for students and community members to celebrate Ash Wednesday in Iowa City. For most Christians, Ash Wednesday marks the beginning of the Lenten season, a 40-day period before Easter.
Ash Wednesday means kind of an overlap of the communion of saints and the communion of sinners.
Is a reminder, I think, of our humility and our humanity.
It's like a reminder that we are not better than God, and God made all of us and the earth and everything else.
It's turning so that we can hear the good news of God's love again.
We remember why we need Easter when we think about death. I think it prepares us to rejoice more fully in the promise of Easter.
The Lent is the journey to Jesus' crucifixion and the resurrection.
While most Christians are in agreement of the meaning of Ash Wednesday, the different churches of Iowa City went about the day uniquely. The Newman Catholic Center held 3 masses, one at 8 a.m., one at 5:15 p.m., and one at 8 p.m., while the United Methodist Church, Gloria Dei Lutheran Church, and United Church of Christ held their services at 7 p.m. One Ancient Hope Presbyterian Church held their services at 6:30 p.m. Meanwhile, Trinity Episcopalian Church held their services at 12, as well as providing ashes to go in the Ped Mall at 11 a.m. and 3 p.m.
We know how busy people are, and we know how hard it can be to get to church, and so we wanted to offer ashes to go for people just to walk by and get a quick prayer.
Gloria Dei also provided ashes to go in the form of pre-packaged ash anointed with oils, allowing for students to mark themselves to fit their schedule. Despite the differences in practice, many Iowa City students felt a connection to their fellow Christians regardless of denomination.
There is still some things that do connect us, that we do share together and keep us close.
All 6 of the major denominations in Iowa City plan on continuing to provide places of worship for all who seek it. From Old Brick in Iowa City, Jace Bertrand, DITV.
And coming up later this week, Iowa City will give people a chance to explore the dining scene of downtown Iowa City. And we'll have more on the lucky passport that could win you a big prize later on. But first, we're going to send it back out to AJ, who's still live at Carver Hawkeye Arena for that weather forecast today and later this week.
Yeah, thanks, Ashley. I was able to make my way down to the floor with Michael here. And Michael, it's getting cold outside, but thankfully we're inside where it's nice and warm.
Yeah, it's nice and warm down here. Nice of you to join me out here on the court. Right now it's about 25 degrees outside, and the high today will get up to about 35. And that's going to continue the cooler tempers after that recent warm streak we got that everybody loved. On the walk into the arena this morning, there were some snowflakes falling. The total accumulation for today will be small, as we'll only expect about an inch, and tonight will be under 20 degrees, but tomorrow's high should be about 40 degrees. AJ, what's the rest of the week looking like?
Yeah, Michael, looking further ahead, we will actually see it heat back up again, as Monday through Thursday should see varying high temperatures from the low to high 50s. However, we'll continue to keep cool in the mornings and nights with temperatures that should be around 36 degrees or lower. While some snow will be nice, I'm looking forward to a nice return of the warm weather.
Yeah, who isn't looking forward to some warm weather? I mean, exactly.
Exactly. Especially like we were wearing t-shirts like 2 weeks ago.
Exactly.
This is absolutely crazy. But obviously, we are down on the court at Carver Hawkeye Arena, where Caitlin Clark broke the record last night. We've talked a lot about the reactions and the emotions surrounding Clark's legendary night in Carver, but we still haven't shown you how the Hawks got their big win. All eyes, of course, were on Caitlin Clark, just 8 points away from the scoring record. She starts off the game speeding into the paint off the glass for 2. A quick start for Caitlin Clark, and not even 2 possessions later, logo 3, bingo. Caitlin Clark is the all-time leading scorer in women's basketball history. She goes to work again, bounce pass into Stolke off the glass for 2. Stolke, another terrific game after dropping 47 last week against Penn State. Here's Gabby Marshall from the corner for 3. She's getting hot late in the season, but it was Caitlin Clark again, 49 points to break the Carver Hawkeye Arena scoring record. Iowa giving her a standing ovation in the win.
And although Valentine's Day was on Wednesday, the Hawks didn't get any love on V-Day when they went to College Park. The Iowa men's basketball team took a cold-hearted loss to Maryland, 78-66. Hawks maintained the lead until about the 7-minute mark in the second half. And while they trailed closely behind, the Terrapins were able to come out with the win. McCaffrey only needs about 26 points to become Iowa's 53rd 1,000-point scorer. Hawkeyes got another stretch coming up, but now it's time for some gymnastics, right? Or wrestling, excuse me. Got a lot going on this weekend.
A lot going on. We'll talk about that as we continue going on. But this Sunday marks senior day for Iowa wrestling, and the number 4 Hawkeyes will face the unranked Wisconsin Badgers to close out at Carver. 15 seniors will be recognized, while 4 in the probable lineup are preparing for the final match. The Hawkeyes are looking to climb out of their 2-week losing streak after their 29-6 loss last weekend against Penn State. The meet will begin this Sunday at 1 p.m. Central Time on Big Ten Network.
There's a lot going on inside of Carver Hawkeye Arena. We're still here, but we're going to send it back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, guys. And like I said earlier, make sure to grab your passports and get ready for a week full of delicious food. Johnson County is having a week-long event that allows people to fill out passports for dining at certain restaurants. Once completed, participants are allowed to enter a raffle for a grand prize as well, and this celebration started back in 2018 and has been a hit ever since. Very cool. Well, thank you so much for joining us online or listening on KRUI 89.7 FM.
We are here live from Iowa City every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8:30 a.m. and online anytime at thedailyiowan.com.
For Michael Merrick, AJ Reister, David Consuelos, and I'm Ashley Wheel, we'll see you again on Monday morning right here on DITV.